Oh, no, those girls, their parents are the fucking richest people in the world, and they are cosplaying as full on emo, goth, alternative, punk, whatever the fuck you wanna call it or consider that style. They are dressing like it. And I already know people are going to be like, bro, these girls ain't even in fucking high school. It's just a phase. Let them do what they want. But the thing is, them co-opting the fashion, dude, they can't claim the fucking fashion. You can't, if these, oh god, I'm sorry, I'm just so angry. I'm so angry. Let me say this clearly. The reason why that video is bad is it is taking the emo style and it is commercializing it. Um that is a viral fucking video, and those girls literally have no struggle. They grow up with a silver spoon in their mouth. They're probably not fucking politically aware at all. And not to like knock young activists, they can't even be politically active. Um Especially whenever their parents are bankers, executives, people whose whole lifestyle is funded on sucking the capital, and taking advantage of workers. Like, the gatekeepers were right to gatekeep emo. Emo should have been gate kept. Keep gatekeeping these DIY genres. Keep them far away from the people who won't respect them, from the people who won't take the time to learn and understand the culture. Because whenever these people take the style, um, uh, and can get away with it with while still being ignorant to everything that emo represents, that everything that punk represents, we are losing the battle. And that this is how punk dies, quote unquote. Whenever you just let people who aren't in your community at all pose as one of you, it's like, bro, these girls are not emo, and I don't know what it'll take for them to be fucking emo, but they definitely have no idea what fucking like Penfold is. They have no idea what like Jimmy Eats World is, or even Third Eye Blind. And just think about the fact that those are some prominent second wave bands. That's like just getting your spoon in. You're putting your toe in the genre, okay? If we want to get more mainstream, they might have heard of My Kim, but they don't be bumping My Kim, okay? You know, they haven't heard Take This to Your Grave by Fall Out Boy. They haven't heard The Party Scene by fucking All Time Low, okay? They don't know who Jerome Stream is. They don't know who Orchid is. And keep in mind, these are just the tip of the iceberg. Mainstream shit. Like, put these girls into Locust, put these girls onto fucking Combat Wounded Veteran. Like, these are hip hop artists that are dressing as a commercialized version of emo and making hip hop that does not pertain to the original culture at all. And I don't understand it. It makes me so mad. I don't give a fuck that they aren't even in high school yet, because it is just a symptom of an ongoing trend of the e-girl, I guess, is a good way to put it, or just the internet takeover of a DIY culture. Um, the separation of politics and the morals and the ethics of these subcultures, and just copy and pasting the way we dress onto Pinterest, copying and pasting our styles onto TikTok for people to steal. They rep the uniform but don't fucking play for the team. It's horrible. And once again, uh there's people already that are gonna be coming at me saying, "Oh, emo is not political. Oh, this isn't political. Post-hardcore is not political. Blah 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 blah." You are already a victim to the ever-growing propaganda of the internet takeover of emo. Okay, I don't want to go over a history lesson again. I have another video directly on that topic, but emo comes from punk, and punk is DIY and anti conservative values, anti status quo, which the Republican Party aims to endorse the status quo. We can even argue now that the Democratic Party in America tries to silently enforce the status quo, while the Conservative Party tries to rescind us back to a worse time. I will be okay with people not supporting, I don't support the Democrats myself, but you definitely cannot be a Republican and be punk. You can be sure, whatever. We are tangenting. I have a whole video on why this is a political subculture and why emo will always be political. Um, Part of the battle of keeping emo political is not letting outsiders come and water down your culture. Like, whenever you see, like, it has already happened. The culture has been watered down, but there is still a smoldering fire that we can't allow to be snuffed out in the 2020s. In the 2000s, yeah, sure, they made emo mainstream. Yeah, sure, a lot of people, we saw the rise of scene and mall emo, which were considered poser cultures at the time, uh, because they were ignorant to the DIY ethics of emo. But we I don't want that to happen again in the 2020s, yo. Like, we are in an era where we are getting our rights stripped away. We are in an era where freedom of expression could be the very next thing that we lose. And that is why it is so important that we keep emo political, that we keep our DIY spaces political, and that we don't let fucking billionaires take our subculture, take anything about this culture and use it as a costume. It pisses me off. Piercings in my face. Have y'all listened to the song? Have y'all listened to the song? I've lost so much faith in the West family. Like, Northwest, I'm disappointed in you. But, like, once again, I'm not even gonna critique Northwest because that's getting into, like, bullying a kid, and I don't want to bully a kid. This is more about how she is using emo culture as a costume. But god damn, it should make you mad to see wealthy ass people cosplaying as emo. Like, that's like, what could I compare that to? Um, that's like people who fucking don't need to thrift at all, who are have their own money and like don't even respect thrifting or like I don't know. And then they'll still go thrifting and take away from the needy. It's so fucked up, and we can't let that happen. You know, you can't let parts of like the subculture be taken and watered down. You know, the more I talk about the culture, the more I feel a little weird being like, oh, the culture, we need to keep the culture strong, especially with all this rhetoric of white supremacy happening. But the thing is that this emo subculture is to combat that exact thing of ignorance. And that's why we need to keep emo and punk and DIY genres not ignorant. We need to remind people of their histories and yeah, it's like, guys, come on, go to a protest, email your representatives, do something, boycott. It's horrible. Keep emo political, and oh yeah, another thing that I want to talk about is that the gatekeepers were right. Uh, I mentioned this in the other emo video I mentioned to y'all, but Gatekeepers were so right. They predicted how whenever emo would become as mainstream as it is right now. We saw this with like the big rise of screamo in 2022, 2023. Um, they were like, "Oh, these fucking posers, they're gonna ruin our scene," and I couldn't understand why, because I'm still a very inclusive person, but I'm starting to understand why. I'm starting to understand the Gatekeepers' points, is because it got so viral that the wrong things went viral about emo. The aesthetic went viral. The clothes went viral. How we look went viral. Not even necessarily the music in general, because I feel like there's a lot of people who will listen to the music and lie to themselves. They will go to the shows and lie to their friends, saying like, "Oh yeah, I fuck with this music," but like you go check their earbuds, or you go check all their Instagram posts or their Spotify likes, their Spotify listening history, or bands they're following, and they don't listen to local bands. They don't listen to like fucking screamo or emo at all. There's a lot of people who are in this shit just for the fashion, and I really see that as the biggest thing that got so popular. Emo got popular during the fucking end of the 2020s fucking constantly online era, where everyone was constantly online and everyone wanted to fit into an aesthetic, and emo got turned into an aesthetic and it went viral as an aesthetic, and now people are coming into this community only thinking that it's an aesthetic. And there's so much propaganda going around that just discounting where emo comes from, what true emo is. Emo is emotional music within the DIY scene. The Holy Trinity, they fucking started. They started in the DIY scene, okay? Fuck Fueled by Ramen. That's another video for another day. The record industry sucked the soul out of their dicks and paid them money to stay quiet. But yeah, true emo is political. It has always been political, and emo, screamo, the scenes have always been about defending marginalized groups and making sure everyone has an equal voice in their scene, in their city. And it has always been against the status quo, and it has been against traditional values, which, once again, we need to keep emo political. We need to kick the people out who will not accept that emo is a political thing and will not adapt the morals and ethics that have existed with this subculture for nearly 50 years now. But the people who are coming into this only thinking that it's an aesthetic, however, they actually fuck with the music and they fuck with the community. Um, we need like a shift in rhetoric. We need a mass level of education to let these people know exactly what fucking emo is and what the emo morals and DIY ethics are. And then I think the scene will be saved, and we won't see this whole big shift away from politics and music. I never want to see music that is stripped away of its political message. I will never be oppressed with my music. I don't ever want to like bend it, to censor it for like political messaging. I will say what the fuck I want, and it needs to stay like that. We can't let anybody into the scene who's trying to, yeah, y'all get the point. Thank you.